Hi, this is Craig from Abandoned Lighthouse Games, and this is my new game, or my new prototype, and I'm going to show you some of the mechanisms and how it kind of works. So it's got a big backstory, but I'm not going to go into all the backstory and stuff right now. This is basically essentially just a tablet, and it's a way to try and stop a god coming through into our dimensions. And you're going to do this by using various tokens from a bag, and you're going to try and manipulate the cosmic forces, try moving stones around and trying to block off portals in order to stop this main creature coming through. And you're going to be doing this all before this comet comes all the way around and strikes, because when the comet strikes, it will rip open the portal and the creature will come out. So the first thing we do is we put the comet just out of shot. It's not in there yet, so it just stands out the screen right there. Okay. This token here is the ×2. I'll tell you what that is as we get to it. Okay, so you think about this like a clock. So what we're going to try to do is we're going to try and seal all these portals. Now this is done using these ancient magic stones. And these magic stones are placed into this tablet, and it's energy projects into the universe and blocks the portals and stuff in the universe. So this is a representation of what's in front of you. What's in front of you at the moment is a great big sort of spiraling portal, if you can imagine it, with this beast's arms and stuff just about coming through. So the prophecy is about to take hold. All right, so the first thing there, we've got 12 symbols around here, and these match 12 symbols on these stones, or these little tokens here. The idea of the game is to try and get all these to match. So for instance, this one here is moon and star. This one goes here. Once we get that to that stage, we can flip that round, and that means it's sealed the portal. If you see that little bit of art there, so the portal is sealed behind our magic sort of cage. But what we first do is then we just shuffle these, and we'll just place them. We'll place them this side up just now. And you can place them this anywhere, just at the moment, just placing them wherever you like. It's randomly placing them down. And we're going to hope that some of these match, because it will make the game easier. So we're going to try and match them out. So we've got all our portals down, and we're going to go from stage 1. So we've got the full travel of the comet. But in the game, you can start from stage 2, or you can start from stage 3, and it gets it less time to do the game, much harder. Stage 1, stage 2, no chance for me yet. Stage 1, I think I've done maybe once or twice. It's not particularly easy. Okay, so there we go. So we've got it all set out. And then what we do, we flip these over, and we're going to try and hope that some of these match. No luck so far. See these symbols here? They're going to try and match these two symbols. Nope. Nope. Nothing. Lovely. Nope. 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 Great. Not a single match. So we've got to basically move all these around into the right areas. So that's begin. Right, so that's all our stones set out. So we're occult, and these magic stones we've put in here to block off the portals in the universe in front of us. These portals, if you do leave them open at some stage, the minions will come through. So the big boss, it's not that powerful at the moment, because until the meteorite strikes, it can't get through, but it can still manipulate time a bit, time and space and the energy around it. So if a portal comes, this little portal opens, one of these little minions come out, and it's just gets in the way. It's really annoying. It has no power really as such, apart from just interrupting your game flow and just making it more difficult to move stuff around. So while you're playing the game, there are going to be stages where you have to leave portals open, and these will come in there. So the less you can do that, the better. So those little dudes will stick up there. Okay. These are strikes. Right, so the main guy in the middle, you'll be moved. Sometimes you'll be taking tokens that move this around. And this is a little arrow up here, and these two little dots here. And this basically moves around. So you might say pick clockwise 3, 1, 2, 3, and it'll be facing this way. And then you might pick up a strike out of the bag. And all that means is when you get a strike, where these two dots are, you then have to move those two around. You have to flip those two. So this is just that demon god, just although it hasn't got much power, it knows you're trying to block it in. It's trying its best to mess up your system. And you can manipulate stuff to stop that happening. You are actually in control of that dial as well, much to its frustration. So you can put these where you want and actually use that to your advantage sometimes. For instance, you might want these 2 tokens to flip because one of them might be flipped into the right place and you'll be able to seal it. So although the god is annoying and all his minions are annoying, you can use his strengths against him. And that's one of the advantages of being the high priest that you are, a powerful high priest. Okay, so those are the strikes. They will go into a draw bag. I'll show you in a minute. And there, what we have here is all the movement tokens. So we've got various movements. So some movements might well be that you can move tokens, single tokens around. I'm not sure what that's doing there. Put that back out. Put that back here. So you might be able to move single tokens around, but obviously by doing that, you might be exposing portals, which means minions will come out. So you've got them sorts of ones. You've got these ones, sorts of tokens. These mean to swap. So for this one instance, it's got 2 tokens with 1 in the middle. That means the white bit means the top. That means you can flip 2 tokens around with 1 in the center. So essentially on this one, that would mean I could flip that one and that one round with that one in the center. So that's another movement I can do. And you get various tokens might have 2 spaces. So two tokens in the middle you can flip, you can jump over and so on. So that's one movement. Then we have this one, which is your center circle, one with a circle. This is the movement of this dial here. So when you draw one of them, you have to move the center dial. That's essentially moving the main demon around. And that's what I mean. Then for these 2 white spaces will move about, and you can actually use that to your advantage. So you might want to move 2, so you use his powers against him. So that's it. So you're drawing these tokens. I won't go too much into the tokens anymore. That's basically just all the movements. And they all go into the bag. So along with the strike tokens and all the movement tokens, we place all these into a bag. I'm just going to use a clear bag today so we can see them. If I need to sort of manipulate something, I can cheat a little bit, just push the game on a little bit. I'm not going to show you the full game, some bit. So they're in a bag. That'll be a draw bag that's completely clear for today, but essentially it will be a hidden bag normally. Okay, so now we're going to look at the board. What we have here is our left hand down here, and that's our casting hand. On here is our right hand, and this is our sorting hand. And this is kind of like your David Bowie hand, where you got the balls. It's going around like that. And this is where you'll do all your sorting on this hand. Once you put a stone over to cast, it seals in there, and when you cast it, that's when you'll move the meteorite. Every time the comment moves, every time you make that move, it's a passing of time. So we're going to say, maybe say it was an hour. So every time you set yourself up and cast, it takes an hour. So that's the length of time the comment round goes round. It's 24 spaces on level 1 and less as you move up levels, if you want to do the harder levels and stuff. So that's it. So we're into the draw bag. So this is what we use. The first thing we do is we draw 1, we place it here. 2, we'll place it here, and 3, place it here. So in this game, you always get to see, you get a bit of foresight, so you get to see what's coming, which is quite nice for planning and manipulating these various tokens that you get. Okay, so I'm going to read out what's on here. So on these little 3 little circles here, we've got move left or down. So essentially, your first one always goes, when you've taken it off, it goes to the first point, then it will go to the second point, and then so on. Right, so the first one says you can move left or down. So obviously I can't move left because there's one there, so I could move down. Down is store or move up or discard. Okay, well, if I discard it, it's going to cost me 1 comment, so it pushes the time forward a little bit. So I'll put that up there. Left, this one here, move left to cast or down to store or discard. So when it's in this point, we can move it to cast. When it's moved to cast, it's sealed. Or we can move it down, which in case we can move this one across. We can move this one in, and then we can then draw another one and move this one out. we don't, until we cast, we can do what we want on this side. We might look at those and think, like down, we can store, move up, or discard. So I can't at the moment move up. The only thing I can do is discard in this point. They're all sealed at this point. There's 3 of them. You need space to move into. The way I would do that is if I really wanted to say this token to be played next, I could discard that at the cost of one of these. That means that I could then move this into store, and then I could then either leave that out, or I could move the next one into there, and then I would pick another one, move that into there. That is a strike, but I won't use that just now. And essentially I still wanted to get to this one to there. So at the moment I'm kind of stuck. The only way to get that one into there to there would be to play this one. I could play this one, and the next go I could move that up. Anyway, I might have got confused there, but yeah, it's essentially this system is of moving stuff around, getting stuff where you want it to be, but sometimes having to play a move that you don't really want to do. So trying to sort of do it with as least collateral damage as possible. Okay, so we'll leave the ones we've got there just now. So we'll take this one away, put that back there. So this is how we're starting. So when you start the game, you place 1 left, 1 on there, 1 there. And now we're ready to go. So the next thing we're going to do is look at this. So this token here, for instance, if we look at this one here, this one is a swap token, and in the center it has that little line there, and that says it's 1, which means there's 1 token in between them, so we can jump over 1 token and swap 2. So we're going to do that one. I'm just going to play that one. So to do that, we would move that to there, to the cast. That is now cast in there. We have a little bit of space over here now, so while we're here, we can say, right, ooh, I'm looking here. Actually, this one, after I do that move, be quite nice to, but not yet. So I'll move that into store. That's stored. This means this one is out of play. I will then move that into here. I get to pick another one and move it into here, or I can leave it out here. This leaves me a little space. If I move it into here, it means I can pick another one. But once I do that, I've kind of blocked myself up. So I'm going to leave this one off just now. I'm going to move this one into play, just on the outside of play, and leave it like that, just on the off chance, because I might want to, I might want to move that back there, move that there, move that there, and then move that there. That would make more sense. Just planning ahead on my next move. And then I would deal from here. And yeah, I'll take that one from there. And okay. So anyway, so you move stuff around, you're thinking with your left hand. I hope that I've explained that one. But so now basically, right, I'm ready to go. So now I'll cast. To cast, you then take your comet, which was off a play, and it goes to the first one. As I've used 1, that will then get put to 1. So I'm going to, sorry, let me start there again. I don't do that yet. I do the move and then I move the comet. So I'm going to swap 2. So I'm kind of looking here. What did I see? I saw, where was this? So this is when you're thinking, if I swap the eye, I want to try to match a symbol now if I can. And no. So if I wanted to swap this one with this one, I'd need a space of 2 in the middle, but I've got a space of 1. So so this is the puzzling element. No, that wouldn't work. I could get one closer to its point. I don't think there's any I can actually get straight off the bat. I'm trying to see. That one would go to there. Nope. That wouldn't come. Nope. It's quite a difficult setup, this one. I couldn't do that one. No. Oh, there is one. Excellent. Okay, great. So it's this symbol here. So I'm going to swap it with this symbol. 1, 2, and that is essentially matched. So I can flip that. I've sealed that hole for good, that portal for good. So that was a good move. That gets discarded. That was the one I just had played on the walk. And now I'm looking at this and what's ready to go next. So my next move here is, when you get to this one, it means I can move one token, one space. So on this one, the one means it moves one space, because it's not a jump, there's not two, so it's just one. So I can basically, if I wanted to take this token, for instance, I can move that one space counterclockwise. So as you can see, although I probably haven't said that, there's clockwise and counterclockwise movement. So this one is one space clockwise. So I could take that and move that there. There's no reason to do that at the moment. But if I did that, as you see, I've left this little place open, this portal open. So I have to put an eye there. So now I can't get to that one. I have to try and move that one away. Now you can move the creatures with these, but if I was to move that, then another one would appear. So what I want to do really is to move that is by using a flip, by using a strike. So hopefully positioning this in a certain way that when it strikes, because when he strikes, he flips over the two opposite there, and it would move across. So obviously, the best way that would work is if you had two on this, for instance, and when you flipped it, you would cover the space over and not reveal another minion. It means the minion's on top now. It's a little bit annoying, but you can move him about without, as long as you move him onto other ones, he's not going to release, you're not going to release any more of them onto there. And while they're on there, although they're a pain, it doesn't stop you doing the game. You have to keep moving them out the way, which wastes turns. So it's essential to try and keep as little of these on the table as possible. Because when you can have up to 6, and when you have 6 on there, it's a lot of moving them about. It means you're going to waste a lot of your time getting rid of these enemies. Okay, so I picked that one up. I don't know if I want to use that one, but I have no choice because it's here. I could discard this one. I don't really want to use this one. So what I will do, so we use 1 energy, is I'm going to discard this one at the cost of 1, get that away, move this down to here, because I don't want this at the moment, move this one across here. I'm going to then, I probably need to move that up. I'm going to leave that empty at the moment because I don't want this one yet. So I want to use this one before I use this one. Okay, so I'll leave that as it is. Okay, so this one is controlling the center. So here we have the circle in the center. That means we're controlling the center. And as you can see, but if we look at the white dot, I can rotate this thing 2 counterclockwise, which is what I'll do. So he was at there, arrow at the first, so you just take the arrow and you go 1, 2. And that means that I can flip, if it strikes, it will flip this token and this token, essentially bringing this token much closer to where it needs to be. Easier for me to get to do a 1 flip than it is for me to get it all the way around. So I'm going to leave that facing these 2 at the moment and hope that I draw a strike at some point. I'm just going to manipulate that just by saying, say next time, so I did that move, that cost me 1 comet. So say that I drew a strike out of the bag. That doesn't cost me anything. As soon as you draw a strike, instantly he strikes you out of the blue. So he strikes, I've got these 2 have to flip round, that then goes back in. So I'm going to go back in here again, and then if I drew another strike, they'd flip straight back again, it'd be a waste of time. So place that one there, I'm going to place that one there and that one there. There we go. So we've got our next set of tokens set up there. And we have here another one of these, another switch 1. So I'm going to look at this, and is there any way I can switch, any 2 I can switch that would be essential to me? Is there any way that I can get rid of any? Not at the moment. I don't think it's changed much since last time. It hasn't changed at all. But what I want to do is I want to maybe try and get that guy quite closer. I want to try and maybe get this hand closer to here. The eye, yeah, so this, if I flip with this one, flip this hand and this eye, they're both getting a little bit closer to where they need to get. So I've used that one. that was on there. I cast that one. So that would mean I'd move this down there. Sorry for forgetting a few little bits. I'm still quite fresh to the game and it's still quite hard to describe what's going on. So that would have gone there. I've just taken that out. That comes out, gets cast away. Then I would probably use this one here. Move this one down, move this one down here. Now just for this is when I would maybe want to use the ×2. So in ×2, I can use 2 tokens at once, which is quite handy, especially for this one, because I want to use rotate 1. So I'm going to take that one and I'm going to take this one, just put this down here for a second. So I'm going to be using these 2 tokens. That's going to cost me 1 × 2 power to use them both together. And the reason I wanted to do that was, say, this is a flip one of there's 0 space in between them, so I'm flipping the 2 next to each other. It's a really cool one. For doing that one, all I want to do is I want to move something 1 space. So this one here, I've got to go clockwise. This is, oh, it's not going the way I want it to go. Okay, I wanted to go anti-clockwise for that one, to get it that one. Okay, so never mind. Clockwise. Let's see if I can find something else that does that. That's that needs to go anti-clockwise as well. Okay, right, so I'll cheat on this one. Say that this one was an anti-clockwise one, just for the video. So if I've drawn an anti-clockwise one, that means I can move this one 1. This one, what's I going to do again? I can move this one 1. That's no good to me at all anyway, because I still can't get to it. See, it's a tricky one. All right, I need to use the flip first. So flip 2 that are close. Is that right? So I'm going to flip 2. What are we going to do here? Oh dear. I need to move 1 out of the way. I need to move 1 out of the way. Is that right? And then flip 2. No. I ain't got a clue what I'm doing here. Okay. All right. The move I was going to do, I can't do because it's I've confused myself, because I thought I could go clockwise and anti-clockwise. Even with cheating, I can't do it. So I'm going to stick with what I know. Okay, so just say that I could move this one here. I'll just do it for the sake. Move that one here. There we go. And then I can flip 2. Let's see, where's the one I was going to flip? So, let's see, flip. So we'll flip this, there we go. So I and this. So I didn't used to use 2 on this, but so what I'd have done is say, okay, I'm going to set up the move that I wanted to do. So say this was here, okay, and we had, obviously we have a minion there as well now. Say that was there. So what I would want to do is I'd want to move this one. No, say this was here. Say this was here. Okay, so say this was here. Then I would use this, okay, finally, and that was, I move 1 space clockwise. So that would be taking this one and moving it to there. Yeah? Okay. And then that would be discarded. And then I'd use the second part straight away to flip these 2 here. Eventually getting my eye. Okay? Done. Now that's a terrible use of those two, but that shows you, and I've lost it, that shows you roughly what you can do. Yeah. Yeah, it's a tricky one. It's really good fun, but yeah. So that's kind of all the moves, and I'm still carrying on. I'd still carry on. Obviously, I've done another move, so that would move around. The comp would keep moving around. I'm still trying to get rid of things. So, for instance, let's set up a few moves. So we want to get to this one to here. We want to get that one to here. So say we had a double move, we had a double move and a flip, so we could move that one to the right if it was one and then we could flip 2, all done in one move, and that would give us that. That would be another move. One's going across. So let's say that we had, let's set something else up here. Let's say we had this symbol here, and we had this symbol over, this symbol here, this symbol over here. So, and it was, we had the 2 white arrows, we manipulated 2 white arrows so they go in there. This would be a good move because we knew as soon as we drew that lightning token, if we could keep it there, when we draw that lightning token, this would flip here, this would flip there, and then we could spin that over because them symbols would match. And that would be a case, because of the way it was, that would be a case of us using the 1 movements to get it on top of that one. So that when we knew that when we flipped it, it would get into the right place. So that's another movement. So yeah, that's basically all the movements. That's kind of the game in general. Obviously, I'll do a better video when I get round to it, but I want to show you basically how it works and see what you think. If you'd like to try this out, then it's really pretty easy for me to make. I can knock one up in a couple of hours. Give me a shout if you get this far into the video, that is. Give me a shout, and I can make you one and get you one sent out, and then you can trial it and see what you think. You might come up with some better mechanics. I think the mechanics are pretty sound. I've spent a lot of time on them, but yeah, it'd be great to get some opinions. But yeah, if it's something you would like to try out, I'm sure it's just a piece of board with a little dart. It's easy to knock out, and the tokens are just these wooden tokens. I've just stuck paper on both sides, so it's pretty straightforward to make. Right, thanks for that. It's a bit of a strange video, it's quite long. I'm not sure if it's explained anything right, but I wanted to do it, and it's been fun messing everything up for you. And that's just the way it is. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.